We all like to believe that we are good, that if we were in Nazi Germany, we would rise above as heroes, rescuing the Jews. We like to imagine ourselves as Moses leading the Israelites away from Egypt, but this is but a fiction. Sure, a small percentage of us would in fact be the hero in those situations, though most of us would not. So how can seemingly good people snowball into monsters, into those who would enjoy the position of Nazi concentration camp guard? If only it were all so simple. If only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart? Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Inside of us exists both good and evil, and whichever we feed, we shall become. If we are good and we consistently give into temptation, over time, we will begin a slow descent into hell. Similarly, if we are evil and we consistently resist temptation, with enough perseverance and dedication, we will move towards sainthood, and some of us may even become a saint, God willing. It is easy for us to be good when we are living well-fed and safe inside of a well-ordered and civil society, for we are not concerned about where our next meal is to come from, and so we are calm and we are able to be deliberate in our behaviors, for our psychophysiology grants us increased capability to choose and resist. But what happens when the stress level increases and we are worrying about our safety, our job, and where our next meal will come from? Are we all not inclined, to varying degrees, to lie, cheat, steal, or even kill to ensure our own safety, to clothe our children, or to put food on the table? What would you do if the Nazis knocked at your door, brandishing machine guns, demanding you hand over your Jewish friend, knowing that if you lied to them and were found out, you would surely be executed? History tells us that most people would collapse in cowardice. So, do you really think that it would be any different today? Good people become evil through a million moral concessions. A little lie here, a slightly bigger lie there, and over time, the structural integrity of the individual erodes until all that is left is a shell of what they used to be. This process is barely perceptible in the moment, but over time, the trend towards evil becomes apparent, often before it's too late. Each one of these concessions changes the way we see the world and ourselves, how we think, and how we act. And over time, these changes become so significant that the character of the person is so radically different to what they were before that they might not be recognized as the same person. A million tiny moral concessions are how well-adjusted German citizens became the exact kind of people that unconsciously desired a leader such as Hitler. This is the exact process that one undergoes to transform into exactly the type of person that would enjoy being a Nazi concentration camp guard. This all sounds horrible. So, is there anything that we, as individuals, can do to prevent such seismic shifts downwards into the depths of darkness and despair? We are all but nodes in a network, an individual within a collective, a person in society. Every single thing we think, say, and do ripples out through eternity, like a stone falling into a pond. Our thoughts, speech, and actions participate in the development of our character, our community, and our life. This is a feedback loop whereby virtuous thought, speech, and action continually improve our ability and willingness to think, speak, and act virtuously. The choices we make affect every person in our life, where we live, where we work, and every interaction that we have with another person, irrespective of the medium. We possess more power than we could possibly comprehend, and so it is crucial that we guard our thoughts, speech, and action with a flaming sword. It is tempting for us to imagine evil as being outside of us, existing in everything and everyone else except for ourselves. However, this line of thinking is dangerous and leads to death. Every single choice we make is but a brushstroke on the painting that is our character, a chisel into the sculpture that is our life. The battle of good versus evil is a battle that we all must fight, and every day we must fight it. It is not a great battle like that in the movies. It is the moment-to-moment internal struggle, and in each moment, we must choose the good and virtuous, else we risk falling into decay. The pride of thinking that we are wholly good and without error is the road that one must travel down to reach the darkest depths of hell. Humility is the only way, for it is but a blinding light in a sea of darkness. It illuminates the path so that we might walk safely through the swamp that wishes to pull us down into the mud, to extinguish our flame. In the end, the battle between good and evil is not a distant war waged by others. It is an intimate internal struggle within each of us. We are shaped by the choices we make every day and in every moment. To guard against the slow decay into moral compromise, we must remain eternally vigilant, humbly acknowledging our own capacity for both good and evil. True virtue requires constant effort, a commitment to choose what is right, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. The path to goodness is not paved with grand heroic acts, but with small, deliberate choices to resist temptation and embrace the light. Thanks for listening.